Today we are going to talk about my new Flying Fish Downwind burn made in the US. Let's go. Thanks so much for joining us. Today we are going to talk about my new Flying Fish Downwind burn that is made in the US. You might have seen it in some of my latest posts on Facebook, Instagram. But I've been really loving this burn, and I really appreciate the fact that it is made in the US, in Florida. If you don't know Flying Fish, it's a brand that's been really, doing an amazing job in the SUP racing world. So it's definitely one of the main, most recognized brand in a SUP racing world, and they are like coming in with foiling burns. So John, the owner of Flying Fish, reached out to me, and I was very interested by the fact that it is a burn made in the US. So I met with John in Stuart, Florida, and we kind of like designed a bit of like my dream burn. So I wanted a fast burn. This one is 8.4 by 16.5, really fast, 105 liters, perfect for volume for me. And it came out ultra light. When I went to pick it up, I noticed how light it was right away. The bird is 11 pounds. To get this kind of weight in a production bird is pretty much impossible. You would have to go to a hollow construction that is much more expensive. This bird, I will put the link right here. You can check out the pricing. Comes out to very competitive in any type of production birds. Now it takes about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of the year, to receive your burn. They need to make it, but you get to pick exactly the dimensions that are right for you. Got mine, took it out on the water, tested it. I was surprised, by how stable it was, because it's 16.5, so of course it is ultra fast burn. The paddle up is really easy, but if you look how the bottom shape is, it is a bit of like a flatter bottom, so that adds a bit of stability. And as you sit a bit lower on the water when you are not moving, it's actually wider here, so you have a bit of a taper. But as you pick up speed and you get on plane, it gets narrower, so now you are like ultra fast, no resistance, it just comes right up. You have a long track that allows you to adjust, for any foil, and the kicktail that really makes it that on the paddle up, it just allows you to pump and then come out of the water without any restriction on the back. So I also love on the deck a bit of like the recessed deck, so a bit more volume on the front, adding a bit more volume, and the slightly raised rail, because when I ride often I'm like slightly offset to really help in a turn, and kind of like it helps me position my shoulders more straight, help with the backside turn. So I like to have my feet slightly offset, and here I can really feel where the rails are. It's a narrow burn, so you don't have that much room to be offset, but I know exactly where I am on the burn. And not only it's been super light, it's also been pretty durable for the time I've had it. I've had it for a month and a half, and it's a downwind burn. It's long. You do shottage with it. It's so awkward to like walk down the rocks with it. You're gonna bang it at some point, and I have not had a ding on it. So it's been reinforced on the rails for the paddles, so not any trace of paddle strikes on the rails. So that's really good. And the deck also has been reinforced, so when you pump, when you put a lot of pressure on it, it's not gonna create anything. So it's been a really direct burn. Not only it's fast, but the fact that it's so light and balanced, once you are up, it actually feels like a much shorter burn. So this one is 8.4, like I said. Honestly, when you are up and riding in a carving, it really feels like a 7.0, because it's so light, it doesn't feel like you have that volume. So you have the benefit of a really long, fast burn that's gonna help you in a paddle up, take off with a small foil, and yet, you have the feel of like a really small bird, the freedom of having fun carving.
And we just tried to make this design. There's a little concave in here, okay? This design is to help make it stable at narrow width. So, when you're just floating in the water, it's gonna feel tight in the water.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start to lift, it's gonna release fast. And we have played around a little bit with rocker profiles, and we kind of talked about it on text message. We have played with a lot of rocker profiles on our race boards and surfboards and stuff. So I feel like this is, believe it or not, enough rocker. But that's what's going to make it faster. So you can see we carried this tail. See, so if you look, we carried this flat area back here just a little bit before we started to drop it down. It's all about speed. We want the board shape to be fast.
If you have had the chance of riding a flying fish burn, I would love to hear it. You know, drop it in the comment, because really the goal is to put the light on this new option that's now available. You know, especially if you are in the US, having a burn made in the US, you know, has some advantage. So if you have some experience on a flying fish burn, especially, you know, if you had it for a while, let us know your impression, and then, you know, in terms of durability. For me, so far, it's been, you know, really great. So that's it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get back out there and ride my flying fish burn, having fun. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.